everyone to our 2020 webinar annual UCC BComm convention. My name is Rose Murphy, co-director of the BComm program here in UCC. I hope all our prospective students found series number 1 and 2 beneficial, and I'd like to give a big thank you to our guests, especially Shane O'Regan, PwC, Kerry Gleeson, Solar Winds, and of course our 2 current students, Armina and Callum. Today we are moving on to series number 3, and I will be speaking with 2 very successful entrepreneurs and past BComm graduates, Niall Horgan and Diarmuid McSweeney, who along with Carl Swain developed and founded the At Leisure brand Gym Plus Coffee, which encapsulates socializing through exercise. I'm also delighted to welcome today my co-director on the BComm program, Dr. Lawrence Dooley, and also Elaine Murphy, a final year commerce student. Hopefully at the end of this webinar, we will be able to see how the BComm program can lead you to success in starting up and indeed running your own business. I'd like to thank everyone today for partaking in series number 3, and I'll start off with Diarmuid. Hi Diarmuid, you're very welcome. Diarmuid, we are all aware that a BComm community exists. BComm students gel very well together during the 4 years of the program. BComm graduates stay in contact with each other and often find themselves in a position where they're working with each other, or indeed, like yourselves, forming partnerships. Can you tell us, how did you and Niall connect to start this innovative path?
Sure. Hi Rose, and thanks for having us here. I suppose Niall and I became friends in first year of the BComm. Yeah, an instant connection, some might say. No, but we were lucky to be part of a great class, and I think everyone has done really well coming out of the BComm and had a very broad understanding, I guess, of business and creativity, I have to say. And I guess what we have found is that our network has been very strong over the last, how long is it, 12 years now since we graduated. We've tapped into that network pretty significantly, I think, in the last 3 or 4 years to help us. But really, I think, we just got such a broad understanding of everything that was involved in business. And I majored in marketing and consumer understanding. I think Niall was innovation and entrepreneurship. And I guess what we kind of found was that the skills that we had learned, or that we brought into the workplace, and that we honed there, they've really stood to us, I think, in the last couple of years. And they actually might have been the reason that we had itchy feet, for the last 2 years and needed to get into our own business. But I think that broad understanding really has helped us to grow the business over the last couple of years.
And Niall, you're very welcome. Over to yourself. When starting a new business, entrepreneurs have to be experts in many areas, ranging from design, logistics, finance, marketing, managing stakeholders. How did you and Diarmuid have a knowledge in all those attributes? And how did you gel and merge all that knowledge together to form a successful business?
So yeah, it's a really important question, I think, and something we probably didn't realize as much when we started the business, is just how many different hats you have to wear, and you kind of do so quickly. You jump from a meeting that could be about logistics to a meeting that's to do with the managing of the company to future planning and strategy, and so many different parts in between. So it is important and a big skill to have a broad level of knowledge across these areas. I think we can put it down to 2 things. One is looking back at the commerce degree we did. The commerce degree, I think what attracted to me to it in the first place was I knew I had an interest in business, but I wasn't sure what area of business I wanted to work in. So the commerce degree is quite broad, especially at the beginning, where you get a chance to try so many different other modules that are related to business. And over the 3-4 years of doing it, you can start to specialize in on what ones you feel most passionate about, or which ones you feel are the areas you'd like to get into a career. So that was great, especially when you know, fast forward the clock 10 years later, when we tried to start a business, I had at least a foundation level of a lot of these parts of business. So that was great. And while my career had kind of, you know, kind of gone a little bit more down the sales and marketing and management side of things, I was still able to go back to some of the knowledge that I learned in the commerce degree. And the other thing that I think for us that Diarmuid kind of touched on there was, if not us having that exact understanding ourselves, we had that network of people who had taken commerce with us, had specialized in their industry, and suddenly we had accountant friends, solicitor friends who we could lean on and ask questions when we needed. So it was a real help to us setting up this business.
I can see from both of you that you're highly motivated problem solvers. And our developmental core in the BComm program focuses on developing students professionally and indeed personally. One of those modules is taken in the final year of the BComm and is called our capstone module. And we're very lucky to have Lawrence here with us today. Dr. Lawrence Dooley is one of the lecturers of that module alongside Dr. Edward Shinnick, Head of Economics. And we have Elaine with us, who has just completed that module. Lawrence and Elaine, where do you think the capstone module fits into the conversation we're having at the moment?
The capstone module is entitled BU 4000, and it's a strategy capstone that strives to bring together the 4 years of learning that the student will have achieved across the program, and to put them into real-world environments of trying to problem solve international cases, and to work in diverse teams to come up with innovative solutions. And so that is the objective of that module, and it's been running now for 2 years and has been a great success. And maybe, Elaine, you'd like to give your experience of how it's gone for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Rose, for having me. I'm delighted to be taking a break from my final year exams. So I suppose for me, it was definitely an indicator as to how the workplace outside of the degree will go. Like, you're going to be dealing with different personalities, different ways that people learn. And like Niall would say, you have to wear different hats for the module. So even though I'm majoring in marketing, I still had to look at like how, say, accountants and like numbers would work with the logistics of a brand. So I had to like spread myself kind of thin around all the different aspects of the BComm degree, even though I'd be majoring in marketing. So in that way, it prepares you for the workplace to show that like it's not just the particular major that you're coming out with a foundation of all business modules. So in that way, it's definitely beneficial in that.
Back to yourself, Niall and Diarmuid. We will have students at the moment watching us who may have startup ideas, or that the term entrepreneur sounds exciting and enticing to them. Would you have any advice for those students in the current climate?
Yeah, I think my advice would be to read quite comprehensively and extensively, to be honest. There's so much going on at the moment, so much innovation happening, and so many different dynamics at play, I guess, now with technology, but also what's going on with COVID-19. And I suppose most of the interesting and new things do happen in recessions. So I suppose Niall and I would read a lot and keep up to speed with different business ideas, things that are happening with businesses. Actually quite jealous of all the resources that people have when they're in colleges. Would love to be able to tap into those again. So make the most of those. But I think the most important thing is you might have an idea now, you might have an idea that's, might not happen for 5 or 6 years. So I think it's getting that broad base of knowledge, keep kind of thinking and working away in your idea, but really kind of tap into those different topics, and just make sure, like Niall mentioned, you have that foundation in the different areas, so that you're kind of preparing yourself, I suppose, for when you might want to launch an idea.
I just echo what Diarmuid was saying there. I think you just want to make sure you set yourself up for success, so that even if you want to set up your own business when you're in college or straight after it or 10 years down the line, give yourself the best chance to succeed when that does happen. And what I would think are the two most important things is the knowledge you have going into starting a business and the network you have. Two of those things I think have probably been the biggest help to us, is that we had a network that we could use and a knowledge base as well. So that's what I would say to kind of current students is no matter what the idea is, you're always you can learn more about it and you can have more people to help you with it. So use your college time and the commerce time to set yourself up for success.
Elaine, would you have any advice for prospective students at the moment in Leaving Cert, wondering what third level degree program should they engage in?
Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose whenever I was in sixth year, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like Niall, I knew that I wanted to do something in business, but I didn't want to have anything too specialised in case I go down a specific road that I don't want to. So I suppose it's a BComm degree, and because it's so broad, it's ideal for someone who doesn't really know what they want to do. And then it does give the opportunity then towards the end of it that you get to specialise in something. So initially it gives you the chance to test out all the waters, see what you kind of like, and then towards the end of it you get to specialise. So in that way I thought it was great. And as well, because it's such a large degree, like with the amount of people in it, it's such a great opportunity to get to know people. Like coming from Bandon in West Cork, I didn't know many people at all whenever I was going into the BComm degree, and now I can say that I know nearly everyone in the course. So yeah, like at the same time it makes for a great academic choice, but at the same time it makes for a great social choice as well. So that's what I like about it.
I think what we've learned from today is the BComm program trains you to identify, to exploit, and to sustain business opportunities through the array of academic modules that we take, but also through our developmental core modules. Our unique developmental core is the spine of our BComm program, and this is where we train students to become critical thinkers, to behave professionally, to make the most out of employment opportunities, and overall, as Lawrence has said, to become an ambitious and achievement-orientated business graduate. I would like to thank everyone today, Niall, Diarmuid, Lawrence and Elaine, for partaking in series number 3 of our BComm convention. And Lawrence and I would like to take this opportunity to wish all our prospective students out there the very best of luck in your forthcoming exams, and we hope to see you very soon in September. As always, if you have any queries or questions, don't hesitate to email us on the email address just on screen, bcommdirector@ucc.ie. Best of luck, everyone.